Hi, my name is Tarot Oracle. I have created an intermediate tarot lessons that I'd like to share with you guys. I wrote an ebook and it was like 150 pages long. It's still not fully developed, but if you'd like a copy, just email me your email address, and please have about 10 megabytes worth of space available so I can send it to you. So I'm making videos to tell you guys what I've learned and stuff like this after a lot of tarot decks, like 100 tarot books, and a bunch of different courses that I've taken over the time span that I've been interested in tarot. And I wanted to share with you guys a lot of interesting stuff, like card interactions with facings, obstacles, movement, leadership between cards, good versus evil between cards, the spreadless spread, yes or no spreads without reversed and upright, dominations between cards, reversals, majors, the elements, what they all mean, how to incorporate oracles with your tarot cards, things like what a shadow card is and what it means to you and how you can use that in a spread. Pre-reading intuition spikes. A lot of times you go into a reading and you just kind of stop for a moment, quiet your mind, and get an intuition spike about what that's all about. The Kiersey, the MBTI stuff, the all the Myers-Briggs type thing, and how to incorporate it in there. And I wanted to share my soulmate theory as well. You have 3 different types of soulmates. I wanted to share with you guys what they all are, how to recognize them, what the differences are, and all the different rules associated with soulmates. Court cards, how to completely demystify court cards and make them extremely easy to understand and everything else. How to develop your intuition. If you're doing intuitive tarot, how do you develop your intuition skills in order to do intuitive tarot correctly and to where you can get some sort of a feeling for cards every time. How to incorporate cold reading. A lot of people that you see everywhere, most major tarot people that I've seen, do some type of cold reading with their stuff. How to add some sort of a kind of a quasi-counseling aspect into your tarot. Not a full, have it take over, but how to add kind of a advice into your tarot, which brings it to life a little more than just telling people what the cards mean. If you could tell them how this affects their life and kind of where to go type thing in with their tarot reading. How to incorporate journaling, when you should journal, how often you should journal, things like that. Putting in the Kabbalah, demystifying numerology. A lot of numerology is confusing because one book has a different numerology than other books. How to use elemental dignities, the easy way. Elemental dignities, everybody shies away from them. There's no reason to shy away from it. It's so easy. I'm going to show you how in 5 minutes how to incorporate elemental dignities into your tarot readings. You can be doing this today if you don't already do it. It's easy, it's simple, it's very easy to remember. 5 minutes and you'll have this down. Seriously, it's coming up in a video. I'm also going to have to show you how to read non-picture minors. So if you have things like the Thoth Tarot, we're going to go through that and try to understand how to read non-picture minors. You don't have a picture there, there's no scene going on, there's no interactions. How do you read that kind of stuff? And even how to incorporate some sort of light hypnosis into tarot readings. So I'm going to teach you all of this stuff in probably like 40 videos that I have coming up. So give me some time to make these videos. It takes like about 4 hours per video to create it. I'm just going to get my entire ebook and I'm going to put it into video format so you guys can watch it, you guys can easily understand, and hopefully incorporate a lot of this into your tarot readings and make your tarot readings just jump to life. I mean, if you get a card, what I dislike more than anything else is people that just grab one card and put it on the table and then, what does this card mean? This card means nothing. You know why it means nothing? Because it has no other cards associated with it. Cards only mean things when they're with other cards. Then you can have interactions, then you can have dignities, good versus evil. Then you can put the numerology and aspects, you can have shadow cards associated with it. You can have all sorts of different meaning. You can put oracle cards in it. This card by itself means nothing by itself. You need other cards. You need a question. You need some sort of a aspect from where to go from, because if you just get this card, sure, you can come up with 40 different thousand meanings, but haven't we done enough of this already? I mean, how many dozens of books do you have to read that cover the same stuff over and over with the same meanings? I want you guys to get away from that, to get into intuitive tarot reading with big groups of cards and understand what the big groups of cards mean together without having to look up a spread. Just lay 5 cards down and understand how that works together and be able to talk for hours if you want to about those 5 cards with no spread. All right, so here we go. Let's get started. This is going to be exciting, guys. I'm excited. Let's get started. Again, my name is Tarot Oracle, and this is my intuitive intermediate tarot lessons. It's going to be, again, like 40 videos. I'm going to introduce to you a new spread. I'll call it, let's say, the movie spread, right? It's a spreadless spread. It really has no meanings for card positions. You just kind of look at the whole spread and get the general feel of where everything's going. Now, everybody has done this in the past before, but I exclusively do this because it has so much potential. Especially when you introduce the card interactions into it, a bunch of numerology, elemental dignities, cold reading, everything else introduced from this video tutorial that you'll be seeing in upcoming videos, and I'm really excited about that. You will, once you have all of this at your disposal, a lot of the necessity for specific card meanings and specific positions goes away. You really don't need it that much anymore, and you can just kind of freeform and freestyle your intuitive tarot readings. So we grabbed a question from someone that PM'd me on YouTube, and it's a young girl that asked about a relationship that they've kind of started into, not really a relationship, but it's a guy that she met, and she sees a potential relationship, and she wonders how it's going to go. So the question is basically, how is this guy going to work out type of thing. So we threw down some cards, and we have a 4-card spread here with an extra card, and sometimes I put an extra card on the court cards in order to give them more meaning and more context, and in this case I did because I felt it necessary. And this is something you can kind of wing, when you need to, and stuff like this. But for now, let's just go through and just take a look at the spreadless spread and how you would use it. All right, so right here we have, the first is the love card. This is a 2 of Cups, a very sensual card, things like that. And in any reading, the 2 of Cups is going to be a positive card, especially when you have it at the beginning of all of these other cards. So, and the 2 is a cardinal number. It's about interaction. It's like the level of passion that you have to achieve your goals. It's also about choices and things like this. So in a choice representation and a choice type thing, I'm using numerology to get most of this stuff, and we'll introduce you to numerology in a later thing. It's a very positive card. Just generally, this is going to be a great card for any love spread, especially for the beginning of the love spread. Now, the next scene of the movie we have is the Empress, which again is an extremely positive card. It's going to represent a good relationship. If they really want to pursue this hard, you could have a family come out of this and things like that. The Druidcraft Tarot Empress is one of my favorites. So another very good card, especially for scene 2 of this particular reading. So we have 2 very positive aspects. Now look at the overall feel of all of these cards. They're very bright. You see a bunch of clouds in the background, sky, very green. The whole feel of this spread is very positive. So, it is a general statement to the girl that asked the question. Pursuing a relationship with this guy is going to turn out positive. You're going to have some kind of a weird things at the end here, but we'll come to that in just a second. So, as far as card interactions, you really don't have any. Empress is looking down, and these guys are kind of enthralled with each other, but you do have some interaction here coming up with card 3, 4, and 5. So let's look at these other cards here and see what else we have. All right, the next scene in the movie is the Fool. And as you can see, the Fool is aimed over here towards the Empress, which seems like more of a, we don't really know what we're doing. There's going to be some indecisiveness. The Fool is in process of motion towards the Empress, which makes me think, and the Fool is like a new beginning, but it's also, just kind of a haphazard beginning where he's falling off of here. The dogs are really interested in him because he has so much confidence. So there's going to be a degree of confidence with the relationship, but as you move forward into a more steady relationship, there's going to be some doubts. There's going to be some, just kind of folly, like some sort of an immaturity. We really don't know what we're doing. This is kind of summary statement into the relationship. So it's going to start out well, and then you do have the potential of having a great relationship, but during the process of building a great relationship, it looks like there's going to be some folly, some doubts, there's going to be some immaturity involved, and I see some challenges, especially since the Fool is moving towards here, but in the process of moving, he's falling off this cliff. You know, it just seems like there's going to be some instability in the relationship between the love that you had over here and the beginning of the relationship to the process of a steady relationship. So that's what I just see out of all of these. All right. So then the next scene in the movie, or the spread, we have the Knight of Coins, and the Knight of Coins has the huge shield with him. Now I'm going to go to the chapter on obstacles. What I see here is an obstacle in the Knight, and also I see a facing away. The obstacle that I see is the shield. It almost seems like he's a little defensive with this. So as the relationship builds and it grows, and we have more scenes in the movie, and we're kind of at the end of the movie here, there's more of a defensive posture that's been built up because of the obstacles created by, and I'm going to say created by, the guy that you're looking at. He seems to be the source of the obstacles. So he's going to put up some shields against, maybe a hard relationship. He's going to have some doubts with this, and it's going to come up to providing the obstacle here. But he is on a horse, and he's not moving. It seems like he's not moving towards anything, but he is facing away. If you look at the chapter on facing in the lessons, he is facing away from the relationship. It almost seems like he's facing towards the void over here. And the void is the lack of a card. And when you're facing towards the void, even though he's not moving, but he is facing away, it seems like you're just kind of ignoring the fact that there could be a possible relationship. Maybe you're not ready, so you put up the obstacles. But I do see some obstacles in the future for this relationship, especially the swords. If you look at the general swords as a sign, is just a very non-emotional type thing. It seems the emotions have gone a lot, especially since he's holding the sword, and maybe you don't have as much of an emotional stability that you had when the relationship started way over here with the Two of Cups. So again, we're looking at obstacles, we're looking at facings, we're looking at the void, and we're also looking at a lack of movement here. We're looking at movement here, movement towards another card, and a facing away from these other aspects of the relationship. So we have a lot of things going on here, and again, when you start watching the rest of these videos, you're going to understand what I'm saying with all of this. We're going to cover obstacles, facings, we're going to cover what's in their hand, the movement, the lack of movement, the void, and everything else. And the last card we have here is an extra card that I put onto the Knight. A lot of times when I have a court card, I pull an extra card if I want one, just for more clarification. And in this case, we have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is another, again, you have another two. You had a two over here, and you have a two over here. The preponderance of twos, and the two is about interaction. It's a cardinal number again. It's about the planet Neptune, and it has a lot of interesting stuff, especially about choices. And you have choices here, and then you have choices at the end. We'll call this the last scene of the movie right here. This is all about, this is a horrible card, by the way, and Druidcraft, I hate the two, but Two of Wands, but oh well. But we're going to go with it. Again, we have a preponderance of two, which is about interaction and choices. And it does seem to qualify the relationship. The beginning of the relationship is about choices. The end of the relationship about choices. And this is a very choice card. It's also a very observational card. In the other decks that you have with picture cards, you have him looking over here. And it seems that he's kind of off to the side in the bottom. He's looking up at everything and determining the choice. So it looks like, again, with all the relationship, at the end of it, it looks like it's going to be a choice. And it's going to be a choice, I think, mainly with the guy. So if you pursue the guy and you do have the choices and options and you go for it, just realize that you're going to have some obstacles in here. And again, the choice is mainly going to be up to him. It's not going to be, I think you're going to, fall in love with him maybe, and it's going to be a heavy relationship. But again, the choice is with him. So you're going to have to kind of deal with that. And I think that may be part of your reality is to just try to accept the fact that he's going to have more power in the relationship than you are based upon the choice here and the choice here and the fact that he's in here with the obstacles. So that's my reading for the person that asked me for the reading. And again, that's my free-formed example of a free-form thing with all the stuff that you're going to be taught in it. So I hope you enjoy that. That is lesson 1 with an example reading of Intuitive Tarot Lessons.